Hey, what's up, universe? Welcome to episode 36 of It's a Choice. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about choosing your own shame and your own guilt. If you even choose to do so, that's some super low vibration shit right there, right? We're talking about the two most lowest vibe things that you could ever choose to feel: shame and guilt. Now, we've all felt shame and we've all felt guilt, right? Well, the thing is that, like, how many times do we choose it because, like, it's something that we have decided is something that we need to feel based upon our own criteria? Not the criteria of our culture, not the criteria of our parents, our husbands, our wives, our families, our friends, our society, right? None of that. Our own fucking moral compass. How many times have we just chosen that we should shame or guilt ourselves based on that? But really, is our moral compass not tainted by the expectations of all of those things I just spoke about? Our culture, our families, our friends, our, like, loved ones. Of course, it's totally formed by those things. Our moral compass, what we think is right and wrong, is always shaped by these things. And what I like to do, of course, is to get into the definition of these words, right? Let's just kind of walk through this for a minute, right? So the definition of guilt is the fact of having committed a specified or implied offense or crime. It's a fact. It's a fact. The thing is once you really get into it, like, facts are pretty slim, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times when people feel or will say that you've offended them or, like, you've crossed a line of theirs, but isn't that really just, like, their idea of the way things should be, or, like, their idea of the way that they would prefer or like things to be? Isn't that them setting some form of expectation on your behavior? I mean, you've committed a specified or implied offense against their expectations. What if that expectation doesn't align with your truth? Like, are you going to feel guilty about it? I don't know, right? Like, this is what this whole podcast is about honoring your truth. And that's just one of the fucking words. We just started off with guilty. We're not even into, like, shame or any of the subsequent words that even make up the definition of shame. So let's get into this. The definition of shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. It's by becoming aware of wrong or foolish behavior and being humiliated by it. That's horrible. Sounds pretty low vibe, right? Well, let's dig into that definition just a little bit more. What the hell is the definition of humiliate? Well, the definition of humiliation, or to humiliate somebody, is to make someone feel ashamed and foolish by injuring their dignity and self-respect, especially publicly. Damn, that's a little fucked up, because really nobody can make you feel anything unless you allow them to. This is where that word abdication comes in. This is where your sovereignty is attacked. This is where the boundary of your authority that's the front line right there. Humiliation. Nobody can make you feel anything, but as soon as you fucking abdicate your authority, yeah, you're going to allow somebody to pierce that veil and, like, injure your dignity and self-respect just because you were honoring your truth. I mean, like, that's the thing. If you were not honoring your truth, then yeah, maybe you would choose to feel shame or guilt. But if you're honoring your truth, fuck letting anyone humiliate you or feeling shame or guilt. And we're not done with the definitions. What's the definition of ashamed? To make someone feel ashamed. That's part of the definition of humiliate. So what's the definition of ashamed? Ashamed is embarrassed or guilty because of one's actions, characteristics, or associations. Like, again, if you are honoring your truth and living your authentic life, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's nothing to be ashamed about. You're not embarrassed or guilty because of your actions, characteristics, or associations, because you're honoring your fucking truth. And if that happens to go against somebody else's expectations of you, or like their idea of the way things should be, that's on them. That's not on you. That's on them. And if they're trying to guilt you or shame you or humiliate you and attack your fucking dignity and like bring warfare to your sovereignty, that's also on them. Fuck that. Fuck that. We're not done with the definitions. What's the definition of dignity? The definition of dignity is the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. So that's the thing, right? When somebody is humiliating you, when somebody's bringing that war to your doorstep, when they are attacking you because you're not fitting their bill, you're not fitting their idea, you're not within the confines or the box or the boundaries of what they think should be one way or the other because you're living in your truth, they're going to attack your dignity. They're going to try to change your state or your quality. They're going to make you try to change your quality and question whether or not you're worthy of honor or respect. Are you fucking serious? Just because you may have chosen to live a different way, just because you are honoring your truth, somebody's going to start to attack and slander your honor, and they're going to make you question whether or not you're worthy of respect. Talk about selfish ass shit. This is definitely, how do we want to say, subtle forms of manipulation. And our fucking culture breeds this. Our culture fucking breeds this. We all have ideas on the way things should be. We all have fucking expectations. That's true. Yeah. Thing is that expectations, they're pathways to disappointment. And once we realize that we're putting these expectations and these demands, which we don't have any right to do, on other people, we realize that we're really just bringing agents of war to other people's sovereignty. We're not allowing people to just be who they are. And you want to talk about conditional fucking love? That's conditional love. When your family, when your friends, when your loved ones have expectations that they place on you and they're not just letting you be who you are and loving you in your whole truth, like letting you be however that may be, that's not fucking unconditional love. That is like guerrilla fucking warfare, like expectations and fucking conditional love. Be like, if you're not going to show up this way, or if you're going to do this and you're going to tell me that's your truth and it fucking runs like completely counter to what I think things should be, well, then I can't fucking love you. Or I'm going to fucking attack you and I'm going to humiliate you and I'm going to try to shame you or guilt you. I'm going to attack your dignity and I'm going to make you question whether or not you're worthy of fucking respect or honor. These are horrible fucking tools that we've allowed ourselves to fucking like perpetuate in like intimate relationships, all under the guise of love. What a load of shit. What a load of fucking shit. The thing is that once you realize that you're doing this to other people and you choose to stop because you realize that, goddamn, like, I'm just honoring my truth. And as you allow yourself to start honoring your fucking truth and not feeling guilty for it and not feeling shame for it and not allowing others to shame you for it or to make you feel guilty for it or to humiliate you or to even feel humiliation because you're honoring your truth, you quit bringing that to other people's doorsteps. You quit having those expectations of other people because you realize what the fuck that is. It's actually quite selfish. Why don't you go live your life the way I want you to live it instead of just living it the way that you know is the right way for you to live? No one has the right to tell anybody that shit. You know what I mean? Now, I agree that in society we do discriminate against things like as a whole, and we do as a whole agree to punish certain behaviors because yes, certain things on a whole don't serve us well, you know, like, but at the same time, like, I'm not talking about like murder. I'm just talking about honoring people's truths, like, and sure, like for some people, murdering other people, that might be their fucking truth. And yes, as a society, we discriminate against those kinds of things. But I'm talking about like more kind of everyday, mundane kind of a things, like, just the way people choose to live their lives and what their truth is and how they're going to carry themselves and the things that they choose to believe in and the things that they feel are right for them, on a more like day-to-day kind of a level. And yet, under the guise of love and family and close friendships and all of these fucking relationships, because of the way that we've been modeled, we're going to say it's okay to shame people and to guilt them and to humiliate them, to ridicule them, to like attack their dignity, to make them question their honor and whether or not they're worthy of respect. What kind of insidious, horrible, fucking assassination techniques are these? That's beyond fucked up. And that is a twisted form of manipulation. And the thing is we have been so goddamn sold on this shit, we don't even view it as a form of manipulation. We don't even see it as being selfish. In fact, we've turned the tables. We think that the other person who's living their authentic truth and knowing what's right for them, and when they start to do that, that's selfish. Nothing could be further from the fucking truth. I mean, this is why I did the episode about a month ago about choose your power. Every single one of you is a sovereign individual, is a free fucking person. And anyone who is attacking you for you honoring your truth and living your authentic life, they are not full of unconditional love. And they are being extremely selfish, and they're trying to assassinate your dignity, and they're trying to get in and manipulate your head as far as whether or not you feel you are worthy of like respect and honor, and to make you question your sovereignty. If a nation state were to experience such a thing, they would call these things spies, terrorists, fucking like, these would be like threats of national security. These would be punishable by treason and things like of that nature. These would be high crimes against the state. And I invite all of you to treat it just the same. This is your sovereignty. Do not tolerate people bringing that shit to your doorstep. Now, I'm not saying you have to attack them. But what I am inviting you to do is like ardently defend yourself against such attacks. Do not allow these things to penetrate your being and like change or to like bring you down, to like knock you off at your knees, to cut you off. Don't allow that stuff to bring your vibe down, because seriously, that's an attack on you. For what purpose? So that what? They have the hopes of you living your life the way that they see fit? And then not only that, most of the time when people are doing that to you and they're trying to shame you or guilt you, you've already created an offense against them, right? So now they're just really trying to extract payment, right? So it's not that they're not done with you. Like, that's an immeasurable thing. Like, how much guilt or shame do you need to feel before the person or persons bringing that to your doorstep are satisfied? And then who's to say later on they won't bring it up to extract payment again? This is emotional racketeering. Like I said, it's highly insidious, and yet it's love. It's love. Bullshit. That's fucking manipulation, and it's racketeering. It's fucking bullshit. That's my rant about these things. It's come up for me in my life, and I've seen it come up in other people's lives, and I think it's fucking bullshit. And I don't let people do that shit to me. They can fuck right off. And I've totally had to tell people in my family, not necessarily in those words, but energetically, yeah, I love you, but you don't get to fucking do that to me. That's not how this works. And I invite that for everyone. As long as you can be in integrity with yourself and know what your truth is and live from that place and let no one sway you from that, attack you from that, shame you in that, guilt you in that, like never. Like, yes, that's what I've been inviting everybody to do from this entire fucking podcast. This whole thing's been about living your authentic life. Because seriously, when you do that, you're going to inspire others to do it as well. Is it fucking easy? Are you kidding me? Hell no. Defending your boundaries and defending your borders? No, it's not easy. Is it worth it? Fuck yes. Fuck yeah, it's worth it. Hell yeah. Your sovereignty is everything. It's like right up there with your health. If you don't have your health, you don't have a lot. And if you don't have your sovereignty, you're also not living your own life. That's my rant. Thanks for listening. So seriously, get out there, live your authentic and inspired life so you can inspire others to live their authentic and inspired life. Because at the end of the day, that shit is a choice, and it's a choice no one has the right to shame or guilt you or humiliate you over. All right, I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time.